Hi guys, I thought I would dive into the numbers behind Blake Lively's true bankability as a leading actress, or lack thereof, and talk about what we're actually seeing. And I compared her numbers to those of two other actresses that she's in competition with, I believe, which are Scarlett Johansson and Margot Robbie. So here's the table that I made. I have an estimate as well that includes adjusted totals that do not include the It Ends With Us film. You can see how she stacks up and how they all rank. And I wanted to point out as well that I think it's very fair to not include the It Ends With Us movie for Blake, because she ended up costing the studio so many millions of dollars, spent fighting the lawsuit that she brought that had false claims, as well as Justin being dropped from his talent agency and more, that led to them having a financial loss, which negated, unfortunately, a lot of the earnings from the success of It Ends With Us, which again was a very established IP, and people weren't even happy with Blake being the actress. So in my opinion, she wasn't responsible for the success behind that. Anyway, so we have Margot and Scarlett. Scarlett's in spot number 2 for domestic leading roles for box office success. Margot Robbie's in spot 118. Those are great numbers. Blake Lively did not even crack the top 500. And things just kind of get worse from here. Her worst metric in this table is that she didn't even crack the top 5,000 for international box office success in all roles. Scarlett's number 5 and Margot is number 348. That's so much higher than rank 5,471, which Blake is. I mean, and look at these other numbers. She stacks up poorly, and she is either a second tier or a third tier actress as far as bankability, from what I see, according to these metrics, according to which one you use, which one you choose. So I find this really, really interesting. She's consistently been labeled, or she was being labeled at one point, as an A- list star. And I think that had a lot to do with her relationship with Ryan and her friendships with Taylor Swift and Gigi Hadid, and so forth. Well, now she doesn't have some of her friendships. She still has her relationship with Ryan, which has been damaged. Or sorry, Ryan's reputation has been damaged, is what I meant to say, by this whole lawsuit saga with It Ends With Us. And her reputation has greatly been damaged as well. So she's arguably much less bankable than she even was, according to these metrics. And I realize that she's going to maybe be starring in this new movie, which, for the record, there have been various movies that she was supposed to play certain roles in or have certain parts in, and those never materialized. So we'll see if this one materializes. It may or may not. But the reality is that she's not bankable the way that these other actresses are, that she's kind of been weirdly compared to. She's not even close to their level. And again, the leverage and connections that she's gotten, it seems, have a lot to do with her other relationships around her, which she doesn't have some of those anymore. So that leads to a lot of questions about why she's still being hired. But I do want to make the point that she's not bankable as like a first tier or a solid second tier actress in Hollywood. She's just not. By the way, sorry, these numbers are from the site Numbers that goes into all kinds of metrics about various actors and actresses. And I just wanted to also say that you have to think of, okay, why are people still hiring this person? Pay to play is a thing in Hollywood. People can pay for roles and things like that. But there are all kinds of reasons that people get hired, and it has nothing to do with their actual bankability, when their actual bankability might be pretty poor. Or just not what it should be. Sorry. I mean, she's more bankable than some people. But I hope that really helps kind of clear up some maybe questions and thoughts that have been coming up around Blake Lively's box office success and bankability and things like that.